button.
There it goes.
There we
everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Still waiting.
Can you see me now?
Sorry. Oh my gosh. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing it on my phone. I was like, it's not coming up.
Well, we was just testing the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so sorry. I thought I had hit the go live and I had not. I hit the countdown and forgot to hit the go live. So thank you all for being here and being patient and waiting and the whole bit. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate you being here. Can y'all see us now? Can you hear us now? Can I someone pop in the chat for me and let us know y'all can see us and hear us?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Hello. Can y'all see us now? All right, good.
There we are.
Got it, yes. I'm sorry, guys. Technical difficulty. So this you have before us. We've already been talking, y'all.
We had a great conversation. I was really enjoying it
already. So who we have before us is the beautiful Nikki Nichols and her husband, the Fish Snatcher. They both are on YouTube under those particular names. So you all are certainly welcome to connect with them after you all talk with them. Hello, Panama City, the Walker Family TV, Burns. How are you all? I'm going to go back through and say hello to everyone who I was seeing. Andrea, It's All Hot Air. How are you, sis? Good to see you. Who else is here? Did I miss? Let me go back up. London Love Jones. How are you? Janetti's Corner. How are you? Welcome, Panama City. If you're still here, welcome in. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. Yes, your family's on the screen, Burns. Your family.
Yeah, shout out to my sister Burns. Yeah.
So we were just chatting with them, just a recap of what we were talking about over the past few minutes. Nikki is from North Carolina.
Yes,
North Carolina, the country parts. And Fish Snatcher here is from New York City, the Bronx. So
baby. Yeah.
Kind of from two different worlds here, but met. And so Fish Snatcher, since we heard the story from Nikki a minute ago, let's go ahead and get it from you, Fish. Let's see how you tell the story.
All right, check it out. So this is how it went down.
Right?
Okay.
So I had a homeboy. This is when I was still hanging out, running around, just being a free man. And he was like, I know a lady that's wanting to talk to you. I was like, what you mean? I was like, tell her to come over here and talk to me. That's what you got to do. He was like, no, she's shy. She's shy. She's afraid to talk to you, but she's been telling me all this time she wants to talk to you. I was like, okay. I said, okay. I said, well, you have her give me a call and I'll speak with her. And then a lovely young lady was on the other end of the phone there, and I spoke to her for a little while. I laid down my game like a good king does, and here we are today. Yeah. She just fell head over heels, right? As soon as I said hello. She was like,
as soon as you said hello. It was love at first voice.
It was backpacks and toothpastes.
Okay.
I don't know if Nikki, that story is a little more interesting coming from his mouth.
Okay, well, we'll let everybody believe that one, okay?
It was something like that, though. I'm just telling you.
So you just had friends down in North Carolina.
Yeah, I actually have family in North Carolina. So my grandmother, how I wound up in North Carolina, I came to visit my grandmother, and I liked it. It's a change from being in the city. I can get some things accomplished in life because I was just going through life. I wasn't really living life. I was just up there having fun as a young man, in the city. And I came down here and got some balance. Like I said, I met my family, and here I am. Been here like 20 years now. 20
years.
Yes.
In New York?
That's why I said. Yeah, no, I've been in North Carolina 20 years. That's why I said. Okay. Yeah, so New York is gone. I'm the country now,
Oh no, it ain't gone. It's not gone. Don't believe that.
They sucked it out of me.
So, Nikki, you were talking about him being straightforward and having to get used to his, straightforward, straight shooter type conversation, where you were used to coming from the South, where, we tend to put on the niceties a little bit more, kind of sugarcoat things a little bit. How did he kind of pull you out of that?
Well,
you said he kind of helped you to be more.
He did. And honestly, he did it by just being straightforward with me. And honestly, he said, you're my wife. So, and at the time we were dating, but he's like, I care about you. So I have to be honest with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for somebody that I care about and I want to be with. So we got to work this out. I want you to talk to me just as straightforward as I'm talking to you. Don't try to, maybe be nice and So then I was like, okay, well, that makes sense, because I had never had anybody to be that honest with me. And so that sucked me in even more, because I'm like, okay, so most guys, when they're dating you, they're kind of the same way. They doing the nice thing, but no. He was just straightforward from the very beginning. And so I could have turned around and been like, oh, he's rude or that, but that sat with me that he was being that honest with me. And I was like, okay, all right.
So you never felt like his representative in the dating phase?
No, I mean, like I said, I think initially the thought was, oh, that's a rude way to talk to people. And we still have conversations about that to this day.
Getting better.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we just had one today about that.
I told you they took it out of me. It's gone. I appreciate it for that, though.
Yeah. How did you have to adjust the way you communicated with her so that she was not feeling so offended, if at all, by some of the things that you were saying to her, or how you would come at her in conversation?
Well, one, from day one until this day right now, I always believe, I do that with everybody, not just my wife. I believe in building people up. I never tear people down, So I just had to adjust the way I was saying. It's all encouraging things. So I'm telling her things that I think is going to help her in the long run, because I recognized it from the beginning, like I told you earlier when I first met her, that, like I said, that's my queen. And the king knows that. So that's why, I had to tone it down a little bit with the king stuff. I ain't going to lie to you. But I'm telling her these things because I'm recognizing that she has the queen in her, so we're going to make a powerful couple, and after getting together, I told her, I said, we're going to see things work for us. We do it this way. So I had to kind of tone it down as far as, I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking her. I don't want to feel like I'm being I'm attacking. You got to do it this way. You got to do it this way. So I kind of backed off that way and just kind of I plant the seed now,
Okay. So that's really good. I love that you said that it used to be that you used to talk to her like this is what you need to do. Like you were making commands at her versus making suggestions.
Right.
Is that kind of how it came across to you, Nikki?
Yeah, I would say that is hitting the nail on the head, because I think I know he didn't just tell me that I need to do this, and and then and honestly, I think for most women that will change your attitude of how you answer the questions back to him.
Absolutely, it does.
And so when he learned that, well, wait a minute, if I switch it up and I just suggest this, then she's actually hearing me and will take in what I'm saying and will even consider it. And so that's how that changed in our relationship as far as communicating. And that was the best thing that he could have done. But in turn, it helped me to realize, okay, what am I doing? How do I need to fix the way I'm answering back to him? Because as he says now, I'm only going to say this one time. Yes, he's my king. Okay. I know that boosts his ego.
Yes.
Like we were saying, we were talking before, we do believe in God. And so I know part of that submissiveness for me was hard to do with somebody who was so, demanding. And so when he changed the way that he talked to me, it was a little bit easier for me to be like, okay, I guess I can I guess I can do it this way.
Now, did you all have to go through a process where, Nikki, did you have to say to him, well, it would have been better if you had said it to me this way versus, or did you just kind of wait for him to find some different words or a different approach to come at you? Did you ever give him suggestions?
Oh no, I still give him suggestions.
You still give
She does. You lie.
But now it's more or less suggestions when he's talking to other people. Because for us, we've learned that, okay, this is how we have to talk to each other. But then I notice sometimes I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that was a little bit sarcastic. Did you have to say it like that? And he's like, I didn't. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe that was. But then at that point, it's too late. So that's why we always communicate about how we're talking to other people, but we had to get to that point. So yeah, I mean, and it's not a rude way that I'm making suggestions, but we talk it out.
Right.
It may not happen overnight. Sometimes there's conversations that we have because we've talked about it 3 or 4 times, but it may not. It may take a month before we get to, okay, we're on the same page. We agree now. This is how this should be done. You know, and sometimes I'm not right. I will say that.
Don't worry, Fish. It's on film. It's on film. It's on camera.
We got it now. Yeah,
you got it. You got it now.
You gonna get 1 million views on this. I'm gonna be hitting that rewind.
Remember you said on.
Yes. Fish, how frustrating was it for you to feel like you had to make some changes in the way that you had been talking your entire life?
Really wasn't that frustrating for me. I'm like a patient person, you know. That's one of my gifts, you know, from God. It's I was born with patience. I was born with discernment. I got a lot of things that play in my benefit, so I can already see the end game. That's one of my things, and that's one of my gifts as well. I'm a forward thinker, and it gets me in trouble with her a lot, you know, because she's like, you just think you know everything, but I'm sitting there. You know? So I'll just be patient and wait for her to catch up with me.
Got you. Was there ever a point in your marriage where you felt like the way you grew up and how you came to, you know, talk amongst your family, amongst your friends, that it would ever be an issue in your marriage? Did you ever think, oh, I never thought I would have to make some adjustments about how I communicate, you know, with my wife?
No, that's part of life, to be honest with you. It's part of growing up. Like I said, she helped me mature, and I got to respect that, because I said it also helps me outside of my marriage as well. Like I said, I can't be going into these. So I ran several different businesses. I won't get into it, but that helped me to be able to do that. You know, I can't go in there like making my demands and stuff like that.
Right.
You got to actually speak to people. You can't talk at them. You got to talk to them, right? And being in a relationship, she points that out about me. You got to actually communicate with people. You know, it's a two-way thing in a conversation.
So the beautiful thing is that you were receptive.
Yes, I was,
to the suggestions.
Yeah, I listen to anything that's smart.
We laugh a lot. I will tell you that.
Absolutely. So, how early in the marriage did you all decide or figure out that we might need to make some changes in the way we communicate? Because, you know, when we're dating and we're in the dating phase, we, you know, overlook things, or we think it'll be okay. We think nothing's going to, you know, how these little irritants that are those little things that might have been nagging at you a little bit, Nikki, where it may not be such a big deal. But then when you get married and you're around, you know, a person 24/7, and they're constantly, you know, saying those little things that kind of, you know, rub you the wrong way. How did you get to a point where, how early in the marriage did you decide we need to make some adjustments here?
Well, I probably would say for me, I guess, definitely we noticed it once we started having kids. I think we knew before anyway.
Yeah.
But when you have children, you definitely have to try to fix that. And I have to say, he brought that to my attention in the fact that, like, if he was trying to tell me something and I wasn't receptive, and I was just like, it turned more that I became the rude person. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm not trying. And then your daughter sees that, Your son sees that. And so
Yeah.
you realize you don't want that to happen for them too. You don't want that to be where they have to be in a relationship figuring it out too. You know, you want you as the parents for them to be able to see, oh, this is how you should communicate. This is how you should talk to them. So, you know, I think for us it's looking at our children and noticing. And my youngest daughter, you know, I started seeing little things with how she would say things back to people, and he would say, "Now, see, that's you right there. See how she just said that."
Facts. That's how they say it, right? Facts.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So is that what you know, really kind of brought out the, you know, the fact that you all wanted to make some changes, or we might need to discuss how we're going to communicate with our kids, right? Because it's one thing to accept how your spouse communicates, but when your kids start picking up those little things that you may not be so fond of, it's like, oh, wait a minute now, you know.
Yeah.
So I completely understand, you know, that your kids can bring out all kinds of things that it's like, well, this never was an issue before, so why are we talking about it now that we have the children, you know?
Well, it's part of life though too, right? So like we've been together now for almost 18 years. Well, we've been 19 years. We've been married for 18. Coming up, right?
Not yet.
Well, it's coming up.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, you know, it'd be a lie for me to tell you that everything is like peachy keen from beginning to the end. Like a relationship is just that. It's a building process, you know. We building with each other, you know, from day 1 to day 18 to 18 years later. It's all building. We get better, like fine wine. We keep that. The more we stay together, the better we get together. You start to become one for real, like the Bible says you're supposed to be anyway, right? So eventually you do think as one mind, and we're starting to get to that one mind of thinking, you know.
Absolutely. Is marriage enough, you think, to make is love enough to make a marriage work?
No.
Would y'all say?
No.
You have, I mean, it's you still have to work at it. I mean, you can love the person with all your heart. I mean, and I'll give you an example. Like in high school, I had the love of my life, but that wasn't enough to keep us together to end up married, you know, down the line.
Right.
You know, so we've been together this long time. We love each other, but we had to learn how to talk to each other. And then I would say the other part of that was, you know, we both, when we met, we both believed in God, but we had to actually bring that more into our marriage to help keep it together. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we said our vows before God, and we both took that serious. That was something that we both took very serious. So we started praying for one another. I for him and he for me, and then us together. And so I think that was one of the biggest things that helped out the communication also.
Were you all sitting down praying together, like just
not
in your everyday?
initially, not initially. You know, he would say he would say his prayers. I would say mine. I knew he believed in God. He knew I believed in God, but it wasn't anything where we had, you know, actually put it together. And then one day, I think the kids were, I don't know, I don't remember, the kids were with us or something, and we actually said, wait, before we make this decision, and I don't remember, it was like a big decision we were going to make. We said, let's pray about it as a family.
Right.
And from that day forward, we just kept doing that. And that's been some years back that we started doing that. But once we started doing that, we realized we can't do this marriage without that. That's something we got to continue to do.
Right. So like I was saying before, when we was on the live that we thought we was live, it's about going in the same direction, right? So when you meet somebody, that's the ultimate thing right there. Like you fall in love with the person that's trying to go in the same direction as you. You see?
Right.
So we didn't have that fighting against us. We both believe the same things. We both trying to go the same way. It's just she believes it in one way and I believe it in another way. You got to do it this way. She's like, no, we got to be softer. I'm like, no, we just got to go take it, you know? So after we kind of come to a balance with that, you know, that was our biggest problem, you know, just being on the same page of how we get to where we're trying to go.
Gotcha. Okay. So you had your thoughts about how, you know, what would be the best route, and she had hers.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. So how did y'all set the space for you all to be able to communicate what you felt was best versus what she felt was best?
Like we just talk, I
You
ask
just
her. So I have an idea every day. I probably have 20 of them every day. I don't know, but I'll be like, what you think about this, and that? And she'll give me her honest opinion, and I'll listen to it, and I come back at her, but like, no, but we could do it because this, and that. And but it works, it works because I listen. I do. She thinks sometimes I'm maybe not listening, but I'm listening.
So Nikki, you feel like did you feel like you always had a voice in your marriage and in your husband's ear?
I feel like I always had a voice, but his was always louder than mine.
I'm bigger.
Okay.
I can't help it.
But because and he says too sometimes that it's just me. That's just how I'm thinking. But that's how I felt. So I felt like I had to be bigger and louder than he was. So sometimes it became a competition.
Right.
And he told me one day, he literally stopped me and he said, look, I'm not in competition with you. I love you. I want to do this together with you. But we got to figure out a way that we can do this without butting heads and without you feeling like that, I'm in competition with you. So that was on me because I guess I can honestly say I was thinking that way. I was like, okay, well, he think he knows everything, so I don't have to listen to that.
Hold up, I'm laughing at Vern. Vern, what you talking?
Yeah, he got a big mouth, Vern. Yes, he does.
That's not true. I just sound that way.
Here you are, Vern.
She's louder than me.
This is family, y'all. But did you feel that from her, Fish? Did you feel like her, sort of pulling or competing with you every time you had a conversation? What did that feel like? Were you getting pushback or what was it?
Sometimes, but I never felt like I said, this is my wife, so I'm not in competition with her. She may have felt that way. My whole goal is for us to move forward. I'm going to do everything to boost her up to get where. If she's telling me, okay, I want to build a rocket ship to go to the moon, I'm like, okay, I know how to do that. I don't know a thing about to do that, but I'm going to figure it out for my wife. She's going to the moon because she said that's where she's going. That's how I am. And then it kind of comes off the wrong way sometimes. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
So how did you, often when we talk as wives and as women, you just want our husbands to listen. And was that something that you all had to struggle with in your marriage?
She may have probably felt that way, but I could tell that after she thinks about it, she's like, yeah, he heard me. Yeah, but I'm serious because, I changed a lot of things,
Yeah, he does. But I think in the moment of the conversation, I I'll say that I'm going to say I would feel like sometimes if I'm making it, if I'm saying something like right now, we're talking, right? And he's quiet. That's not how a conversation would go though. So I would be saying my piece and he would, say what he had to say. But he says that's how you communicate. I always thought, okay, that I'm going to say everything I need to say.
All right. All right. Let me fix it. This is for all the fellas out here. I've got any fellas out here to help me right now. Please help me. Do women say more words than men in the conversation? I get to say 5 words. She get to say 10,000. You get 10,000, I get 5. But it makes me smarter though. I can get it out quick. I'm like, it's just.
I'll go ahead and vouch for you, Fish, on that. You were right. We do say more words. We do say more words.
We do.
It's just a fact. I can't even fight you on that one. For sure. So it felt like she would get 20 minutes and you would get 5.
I won't get 5. I get 5 seconds, but it's cool. I'm gonna get it in that 5 seconds, but in that 5 seconds, she said I'm cutting off.
Yes, they're saying yes, they do. Here's your absolutely. Where's the line? Yes, absolutely. We do.
Thank you, fellas. Hope your couch is big because the snatcher may be coming.
Oh, let's see here, Vernell. So yes, because the man is the protector and the provider, the woman is the nurturer and the neck that turns the head in order to be in unity with each other's listening is the key. Yes.
I
How
agree
are
with
you
that.
all?
I agree with that. And that's not saying that a woman don't have equal rights and can't do what a man can do. It's just a man's job, in my version, to be the protector for the woman, you know, and to help her. We're her helper, she's our helper. That's just the way it is, you know. So if she has a vision, the snatcher is there. So like I said, I got in YouTube because she was in YouTube before me. And when they changed the rules of YouTube, she kind of got down. I seen it.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I hug my kids and everybody. I said, look, you can do anything you put your mind to. This is the whole reason the fish snatcher even exists, just to show them. I was like, look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna start. So my fish snatcher page not connected to anything personal, period. You see, I built it from the ground on up. Everybody I did just hard work and determination. And she got back and she started doing it again with me. She started going back out there doing her videos again. And she's back at it. You know, she kind of got discouraged because they had changed the way you got monetized.
Right, right.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know how long people been in YouTube, but she was in YouTube for a long time. Doing great. I thought, I was cheering on. I was a cameraman. I was a makeup artist. I was everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm that kind of I told you, she wants to go to the moon. I'm building a rocket ship.
Got you. Is he your biggest supporter?
That's right.
I would hope.
Yeah, I would say that. And if I go live, he's right there.
That's right.
I mean, you know, and I try to do the same for him.
She does.
People, I think, you know, now people are noticing. They'll see me in his live. He'll be in mine. At the time, we kept it separate initially. And I think Vern, I don't know, it might have been Vern was the first one to realize that we were a married couple.
Vern's a smart lady. You're not going to get anything past Vern. Except for the fake mouth. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, she absolutely is. She's another straight shooter too, up there from
That's why I like her. You know, that's my sister for real. You know, I'm not going to get into a personal bit. I think that's my sister for real.
Yeah. Absolutely. Got a good helpmate. Absolutely.
I do. I really do.
Good deal. What did arguments look like for you all?
Like chess.
Like chess.
Like chess.
Literally.
Yeah.
Cause I'd make a move. He hit, like he says, he does think a little bit further than me. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna jump over here because I'm going to knock that queen down.
Gotcha.
And then and there's a saying that he always says, he's like, this is chess, not checkers.
Okay.
And initially I didn't understand that. But when we would have an argument, I'd be like, dadgummit, he thought about this a little bit more than I did. And I'm gonna tell you, the argument could be over. 2 days later, if I think of something, I'm going to come back and I'm going to say what I have to say.
And it's cool though, because you got to get it out. I understand that. It's cool. You know, I said that my thing is never to hurt her. So even though it may seem like that sometimes, and I said I'll do work on that. Like the words I say, I got to choose carefully the words I say. You know, because like even though it's a good word, it can sound bad. You know. Yeah.
But I you know, we in the arguments though, I think a lot of time we learned from what we said, but we did try not to hurt each other's feelings. You know, I say it like that because I would say to anybody who's married and has been married for a long time, you know, sometimes words cut deep. You know, and the Bible talks about the tongue being sharp, you know, sharp like a knife.
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful to what you say to your spouse because they may not always say anything, but years down the line, that hurt may still be there, you know?
Absolutely.
So that was something that we realized, you know, you can't cut below the belt, you know, you can't do that. And so, but again, as time went on, we learned, you know what? We don't have arguments anymore. We debate.
Yeah. She debates, huh?
She debates. I'm just playing chess. I'm going with the game. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Have you all discovered each other's love languages? You know that what he likes to hear. Do you prefer like words of affirmation versus saying just being elevated, like lifted up and encouraged.
Yeah, I think he does like to be lifted up. He does like to be encouraged. And if there's something that he does and he does it well, I make sure that I let him know that. Because like he says, like he's always in my corner doing things. I have to show that I'm right there. I'm the same way. I gotta be, right there with you. And I think something that we always say, actions speak a lot louder than words.
Yes.
So if he says, okay, and I'm gonna just be honest. If he says I'm wanting to go fishing tomorrow, now I might be like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know he really appreciates me being there doing the fishing with him. Unless I just have something with the kids or something like that. So I think that's how my love language for him is that okay, he really wants to do this. So let me just get up and go, even though I don't want to. And he does know I don't want to.
And piggybacking off of that, vice versa, do the same for her, Go on the walks. I look at the butterflies, I paint the paintings and, all the girly stuff, I do it with her. I do all the girly stuff she likes to do.
So you learn to let that go both ways, right? So you're not out there complaining about it's bugs out here or these fish stink or I don't want to touch those worms.
She's not touching the worms and fish. I'm going to tell you that now.
But she's not doing any of that.
But that's cool.
Well, okay. In my defense, now that he's been going fishing for about a year now, I actually have touched a worm.
Like that.
Oh, okay.
She did like that.
Oh, just like that.
She touched it though. That's touching it.
Yeah. And then you watch all the things and do all those crafty things that she likes to do.
I watch the girly movies and stuff with her right there where they got tears and snot coming out their eyes and stuff. And I'm sitting there like, goodness gracious, would this thing be over? But I'll be smiling like, yeah. But you do that, that's part of being married. You got to compromise. You can't just do only the things you like to do. And I'm an alpha male. I'm a self-claimed alpha male. Grew up playing sports and being with the guys, and you got to be the toughest thing out there. So that doesn't work with a woman, though, right? Women they're the opposite of that, which she should be my yin to my yang.
Right.
Balance us out, and I understand that. So I compromise for her, and she compromised for me.
Right. Now, how about your families? With your families coming from the two different areas, when your families are around, do you still have to find yourself adjusting to how your families talk or how they talk to you all?
I think they had to adjust, maybe, like their families they had to get, like, my family may have to get used to the way she is, and her family have to get used to the way I am, And like, for example, her father's like one of my best friends. Like, we hang out, after we got to know each other, it didn't start out that way. Like, he didn't know me. I'm a very quiet guy. I'm a very quiet guy.
If you believe that, right?
Yeah.
But no, he really is.
I call myself a sociable introvert. I could be sociable if I need to be, but I'm very much an introvert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So like when my mom first met him, she said one day she met him and then he left. I stayed there for a little longer. And she said, "Is he ever going to talk?" Because he didn't say much. He only would say something like he said when my father came around. He would open up a little bit. And I told him, I said, well, he talks to me all the time. But one day, I don't know, I think it might have been a cookout or something like that. Like I said, him and my dad became really fast buddies. And then my mom said, "Oh, no, he talks just fine." So I don't know.
It's a respect thing too. Like, so I'm from an area where respect is everything, So I'm respectful to the ladies. I can't treat her mother like I treat her father, Like, like we men, we do men things,
Yeah.
I understand, which is what you would want. I'm going to open it up. If anyone has any questions from the chat, please feel free to pop in any questions you have about the two backgrounds. One of them is from the city. The other one is Nikki's from the country. And if any of you all have experienced anything like this in your relationships and you have any questions for them, please pop them in the chat. Let us know. Let's see. So true. Respect is everything. The Ace Deuce family. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome.
Hello, everybody in the chat. How y'all doing? Yeah, welcome here. Make sure y'all liking and subscribing to my sister. Yeah.
Okay, Burns, you have a question to your sister, Nikki? You can pop that in the chat for us. What kind of rules and boundaries have you all sort of created around your marriage and the way you communicate with each other? Do y'all have, I know you mentioned earlier, y'all try not to make sure that you don't talk and say things that cut each other below the belt. Are there any other things that you can think of that you kind of is a part of your marriage that you don't even realize that you all do now that helps keep peace?
I'm gonna let her answer that one.
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, just because I can't think of anything.
There are probably things that you do so naturally that you don't even, realize.
Well,
that
again, like I said, that goes back to the beginning of our conversation about going in the same direction. You see, because her mind is truly like mine, and mine is truly like hers to an extent. So, like the things that really would make her not like a person, I don't do. The things that are truly make me not like a person, she doesn't do. So there was nothing that she had to really cut out. Like she's still herself. I'll tell you the biggest struggle she had, and then she realized it wasn't because of me, but she had her best friend growing up. Right? And she told you, like she's from the South, she's from North Carolina. She grew up in Virginia though. So her best friend is from Virginia. And I would tell her when she meets certain ladies and things like that, it may, again, like she says, she thinks I'm harsh. I'm like, that's not your friend. Ain't that right there? I'm telling you, honestly, I can see it coming. I'm a forward thinker. And later on, when she see it herself, she'd be like, okay, I get it. So like it's hard sometimes to I guess find what she had before me, as far as a friend went, like another female friend, And a lot of these things, and this is how God works though. So they haven't seen each other, I don't know, maybe 15 or so years. Before I met her, I don't know how long it was. God put her back in her life. She went through all these trials and tribulations, and she can honestly tell you, I said, damn, I can see it. That's a friend. She's a friend. I seen it as soon as I met the lady that she calls a friend. I was like, yeah, that's a friend, Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Me being the person that I am, I like being able to go out and hang out with people. But when I came back to North Carolina, so because I had left and been gone for so long, I didn't really know people here. They knew me, they knew my family. Let's say it that way. But we didn't know each other. And because when I left here and grew up differently, in Virginia, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but the way that they thought about things was a little bit more closed-minded than the way I was thinking about things, because I had left and gone to the city for a little, well, what I consider the city, for a little while. And so when I came back home, like you said, he was like, no. I would bring somebody to the house and I'd be like, well, what do you think? Because I would always ask him. So I want to know, do you think this person is okay to be at our house or to be around our kids? You think? And he'll be like, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like her.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And I would be like, well, you don't like nobody. I breathe. But I did realize when he met my best friend, he was like, now see, I see why you guys, because of me and her, a lot of alike, and just we had each other's back no matter what. Whereas a lot of the girls that are females that I met, for whatever reason, maybe they were just trying to be in our business or what have you, because we are very to ourselves. So when you see us here on YouTube, we're us, but at the same time, there's not a lot of people that we let in, in our realm. So but now I just gave up. He's my best friend.
She is mine,
So you all don't worry about, having too many friends in your inner circle, just people you associate with.
Go about that. So like a friend to me is different, than what a person to call a friend. All the people I can call a true friend is now they became a cousin or something like that. Now I don't recall, but when I introduce them, I don't say this is my friend, this is my cousin, or this is that. They've been that way with me from 5 or 6 years
old. Like family,
family. I was telling a story about one of my friends that I called my cousin, popping up at my grandmother's house. She didn't even know he was there. I come over there visit my grandmother. He's downstairs laying in the bed. And I'm like, man, what you doing here? I haven't seen him in 10 years. Like, what you doing? Where'd you come from? Like that, right? And then I come to find my grandmother didn't know she did. We go up the stairs. She's like, what you doing here? I was like, who put you in the house?
So we have a question here from London Love Jones. Do you feel like your children have more Southern ways or the more New York ways in them?
Well, I'm gonna say they're more Southern, but they do have some New York ways of thinking. Like, again, like I said, respect is a big thing. You respect those that respect you. You let actions speak louder than words. Don't judge a person for their words. You judge them by their actions, right? So if I'm telling you I'm going to be here and I don't show up, not to make me your friend, right? Because this guy will let you down, right? But if I'm doing everything you ask of me and I'm staying respectful to you and your family, that's the kind of that you accept in. You just don't automatically accept everybody in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like with our daughters, they're more straightforward.
Okay.
With my son, he was like me. He had to build to become that person. He's quiet like his dad, but as far as just immediately saying something to you, well, this is how it should be. He's not like that. He's more that he'll talk around it a little bit. But I've noticed the older he's getting, the more that personality is starting to break away.
Oh, really?
And now he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let them talk to me like that. And so he'll speak up for himself. Not to say he was timid or anything like that. He just kind of danced around things like I did.
Yeah. So how do you all support each other now when you're communicating with your kids? Like, do y'all back each other up? Do you try not to overstep bounds with each other? How have y'all worked through the parenting?
A lot of times she would speak to me first, tell me that this is going on, and I think we should do this, and that. Sometimes she go ahead because I'm at work or something like that, and she'll handle it herself, and then she'll tell me what happened, and then ask me what I think. But communication is key always. And I said we learned that later on in their life, because I would say something, and then she'll say another thing, and it never worked out. So you got to be on the same page,
Yeah.
So when the kids try to play you all off of each other, do y'all shut that down?
Yeah, more of that. That used to happen early on,
Yeah.
First and second kid a little bit, but by the time we got the three, so we got 3 kids, and we got it under control now. Like, no, we come with a game plan. We go in the huddle, and then we come out.
And it's so funny because my daughter, she'll be like, she'll ask me something, and I say, well, let me talk to your daddy first.
Right.
And she'll say, can't you just make the decision? And I'm like, no. I told your daddy we made a bond that we said from now on, if there's something that's going on with the 3 of y'all, that we would talk about it first.
Right.
Then we'll let you know.
So now they know they can't come to one of you and it not get to the other one and try to get something passed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very important. Very important. Hello, BG fan all day. How are you? Burgundy and gold. I see you updated your name. Yeah. Do we have any other questions from the chat? What did you all underestimate about each other?
That's a good question. That's a tough question, actually, because I can't think of some. I think I underestimated how much she believes in what she can do. She has a lot of talent that she doesn't capitalize on, and she explained it to me numerous times why, and I get that, but I haven't seen her potential yet. I've seen it.
Okay, and I will agree with that, because like, for instance, with our YouTube channel, like there's things that he thinks I can do. And I'll just go ahead and put it out there as far as singing. I used to sing a lot in church, mostly church. And for you that have seen my channel, I also used to be a CNA. And so when I worked as a CNA for the elderly, I would sing to them and things like that. And he would always say to me, you can make money singing. And I would say, but this is my gift from God. I don't want to use it to make money. if somebody if somebody blesses me with money, then I'll take it. But I don't want to charge anybody for what I'm doing, because I felt like, and maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but I felt like, well, this is my gift from God, so I'm supposed to share that with people for free. That's how I felt about it. But he's like, well, if you can make money though, you need to do that.
I mean, you still could be respectful, you do it right. You do it right. But, so, like, one of the things that attracted me to when I was told about it, this is how she was presented to me. It was a whole long speech. Again, I'm not going to go through it, how she came after me. But what I'm saying is, she had a business before meeting me. She had her own business, and she started from the ground up and ran. And that really impressed me, because it's hard enough to get your own business going. And it's hard enough for a Black woman to do it as well. She's got a lot of strikes against her. Black man has a strike against her, that's against them, and a Black woman has 2 strikes against them, right? So I was impressed. I was like, wow. I was like, you did that by yourself. Wow. That's impressive, Seriously.
So Michael Moore here is wanting to hear a duet. He says all New Yorkers can rap, and all Southern girls can sing. So
hey, let me tell you another thing I told her when we first met, right? Y'all was asking about, what did I tell her and what did she tell me? So I just bust out with the Method Man and Mary J joint, that. Keep it real with me, I keep it real with you.
Okay.
Yeah. I would give you some of that, but again, she doesn't want me to charge people, so she can't sing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nikki, was there anything you underestimated about him?
Oh my goodness.
About Fish?
Well, okay, so he says something. He says that he's a trendsetter, as far as he comes up with things and then people follow it and then they run off with it, but he always started it. So, but one day we were doing something and I noticed that there was a person who was doing the exact same thing that he had started this before. And I was like, he said, see, I told you, I'm a trendsetter. But he doesn't mind that people, mimic or do what he does. He'll freely give it to him. But he was just letting us know. And then even our daughter, it's a funny thing in here. She's like, I guess you said that too. Like if there's a famous saying or something like that, he'll say, I was the first one that came up with that, right?
It's true. I'm not going to break it all down. I'm not going to break, but it's very true.
But I will say, like if anybody in here who has watched his channel, like he really boosted his channel up and he moved really quickly, because like I said, I'm more of a slow mover. But it's okay. I feel like as long as I'm getting, organic subscribers that are staying with me. But he jumped on and boom. I mean, he ran with it, but his talent, he was good at what he did. And so I think I underestimated, because I didn't think he would ever do YouTube. But I kept telling him, I think you can. I think you can. I think you can do this. And so when he did it, when he jumped in, it was all. And I never thought that he would do that, because like I said, we kept everything private as far as with our family. So to even see him, even today, for him to do this interview right now, when I asked him, I was kind of had reserves about asking him. He was like, but no, I'll do it for you. So
I would. That's right. I told you I will build the rocket ship.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Fish. Thank you so much for.
And one, you're an awesome person as well, too.
Yeah,
so,
thank you. Yeah, the men are definitely more hesitant to come on.
You watch Oprah.
That's why I tell people up front, like, hey, this channel is to elevate people and motivate people. I'm not here to bring anybody down, cause any sort of mess in people's lives. And, so people know our intentions right away. But we do have a question here. After 18 years of marriage, what is still on y'all's bucket list of things to do?
So I'm going to let her answer first, and then I'll answer. I'm curious to see what hers is myself. Let's find out.
Okay, so it's a thing. Okay, so I can't swim, so I don't really deal with water. Okay. One of them was getting on a plane. Well, I did that, and we did that together. But one of mine is he has always wanted me to go on a cruise with him, and I would never do it because I was so afraid of water.
Gotcha.
And so one of my things would be I want to make him happy and get on a boat and take a cruise with him so that I can say I checked that off.
So not that you want to learn how to swim, but you will get on a boat in the water.
Man, it's a big boat anyway. I tell her all the time.
It's a big boat.
Down, you seen the Titanic? Who swam out of that? You know what I'm talking about?
Hey. I mean, for somebody who can't swim, the thought of being on a boat out in the middle of the ocean, I don't care how big it is, has to be a scary thought.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's why I never forced it. So that's good to know, because I said my bucket list would be to get an RV and travel to the United States, because it doesn't involve water. We can hang out. We can do our YouTube thing, and we still can see all of the United States. That's one of my things. Like, you know, I live in this country. It's a beautiful country, and I haven't seen all the states.
Yeah.
You know, I love to do that.
Absolutely. That's on our bucket list as well. But since COVID has happened, we're already behind.
Yeah. Very true.
We're already behind. So who's the luckiest at catching fish? You are?
Yeah. That's how I go. When you're a new fisher, for all the people out there that haven't fished, if you want to impress somebody, go out there and fish. You're going to catch the biggest fish. You're going to catch the most of them because you never fished before. I don't know what it is about that, but that's the way it works. She catches the biggest. I catch the most. I take it back. I catch the most, but she catches the biggest sometimes.
And it's funny because we're competitive when it comes to that. And initially, like I said, I didn't want to fish, but once I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. It's not really that bad. Now I don't want to kill the fish and cook it. I'll cook it, but he got to do all the. I'm not scaling it and cutting it open. Nope.
Yeah. Now, is that where some of y'all's biggest or deepest conversations happen when y'all are out fishing, or is that a time of relaxation for y'all?
Both.
Both. Yeah. But I would probably say it's more relaxing. But conversations come through the relaxation.
Yeah.
So like if we're out there and everything is calm, and I think ideas come to people when they're at a point where they're peaceful. Everything, because I feel like that's when God can talk to you, right?
I agree.
If you're out and it's just something about nature. You're out there, you got water. And I really have to say to him, like, he helped me with that. Even though my father, as a little girl, like my dad loves to fish, but that was just not something that I wanted to do. So when he finally got me out there, I understood, okay, you know what? I know what my dad sees because he would always say, come on, you gotta go. It's just so nice. And you just hear the water. And it's just such a peaceful time. And so like I said, we'll just open up and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should do this. And then it just opens up, a conversation. So
now, Fish, do you prefer her to be out there with you, or do you prefer to fish alone?
I prefer to be out there with me, but I'm out there a long time, and I understand, she's done at the hour. I'm like out there 7 hours. I'm like, we just got here. What you talking about?
That's what I hear a lot of wives say. I have a good friend also that her husband is a huge fisherman, and she's like, after 2-3 hours, I'm done. Like, she's like, I don't, and he can be out there all day from sun up to sundown and not think twice about it.
After 2 or 3 hours, the fun is just kicking in. It's just starting to start.
The fun is just kicking in.
And you know what? The kids usually are done too.
So when you go on, we're gonna head on in and go buy some fish at the restaurant.
Hey, I did that one time. I made a bet with the kids.
I know how that works.
I told them, I said, look, if we don't catch no fish, I'll buy you something to eat. Don't worry about it. You pick off the menu. I'm that confident. I'm gonna catch a bunch of fish. They're gonna be out there. I got there. We didn't catch one fish.
I know. It's always on that next throw. It's that next throw, always.
Darker, and I'm sitting there going,
5 hours later. Okay, it's this one. It's gonna be this one. I know what that's about. Well, all right. Well, guys, thank you all so much for being here. We are coming up on our hour. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I thank you all so much for agreeing to come on and chatting with us and sharing with us how you all work through just some of your differences and what worked for you all and what didn't. Sharing with us your children and your marriage and everything. I really appreciate you all coming on. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed this time. I'm going to say a quick prayer before we head out like I always do, and then we'll be back here next week. Please go and check out Nikki Nichols on YouTube and her husband, the Fish Snatcher. He talks about all kinds of stuff, mostly fishing. So for those of you all out there who love to fish, jump on there. He also does, help other channels grow. You all are doing all kinds of stuff. Nikki talks about hair, all kinds of things. So I definitely worth checking them out. Go on their channels, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Eve. Hello, Brenda. How are you all? I see you all coming in. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Yes, I will put their links in the description. I'll do you one even better, Harrison. I'll put it in the description. Okay. The double point was really funny. Okay. All right. I'm going to say a quick prayer and then we're going to head out. Father, thank you for allowing us to get together during this time. Thank you for showing us that no matter where we come from, what backgrounds we come from, whether we grew up in the city or the country or in other countries, Lord, what's meant to be is meant to be. Thank you for the time that you've allowed us to be here. Thank you for the word that they have shared with us this evening and their love and and how they came together and worked through their differences and inspiring us to not be afraid or even hesitant to date someone who may come from a different background than we do. Thank you, Father. What's meant to be is meant to be. What you have for us is for us, and we don't take that lightly. So let us not deal with preconceived notions and miss the blessing that you have for each of us. Thank you for them. Bless this couple, bless their endeavors as they move forward in life. Bless everyone in the chat. And we thank you so much for all that you've done for us each and every day. These things I ask in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right. Let's see here. Save a number you guys channel individually and together. And Brenda says, okay. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for popping in. I appreciate you. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you
take care.
Thank you for having us.
God bless.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.